Thank you so much. We also have students from Maseno University who will be who are at the band and entertaining us. So to start off today's program, we want to invite one of our experienced facilitator that we have today, Madam Salome Abuao. Okay. If I don't know that I got the name correct. Okay. Madam Salome is a seasoned music performer, both in the Kenyan music scene. She has facilitated in various workshops across the country, and we want to recognize our contribution in this in the country's music scene by welcoming her to give us a presentation today, and she'll be telling us what the presentation is all about, and I'll be chairing that session. Asante sana. Welcome all of us. Please, let's have our seats. Karibu sana Madam Salome. Tumpigie makofi anapokuja. Please, let's clap. Thank you. Karibu.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody. Good morning once again. In my little village, we usually sing this song. Let us see those of you who know the song. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you surely want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Thank you very much, but there's only one student of mine who have passed that exam, because I said we sing, but you are only clapping the hands. So there was only one who was singing with me. So you have already failed my exam. I'm tackling the topic on the role of music for personal development. Role of music for personal development. One, music plays a very significant role in personal development, thus influencing several things: physical growth, cognitive growth, emotional growth, social growth, and the spiritual growth. So music plays a very significant role in our development. And when we talk of the development, we are running right from childhood all through to adulthood. We shall tackle them separately, and then we shall end up with the one that I will spare, the economical one. Under physical growth, what are the things that music generates in us under physical growth? One, music improves our motor skills. Music improves our motor skills. Under physical. When playing an instrument, it develops fine motor coordination, promotes the coordination between the hand and the instrument. So music plays, improves our motor skills. Two, it promotes relaxation as well as it gives therapy, thus reducing stress. Music promotes relaxation and being therapy, thus reducing stress and promoting physical relaxation. I look at the students during the learning period. There is so much on their brains. There are so many assignments they have to do. Look at the exam period. These students are stressed. But at times when you just give them music and you relax them, they feel relaxed. When you play for them music, let them just sit under a tree and give them some good, cool music. You see them relaxed. The stress of exam, the stress of all the assignment comes out. After a heavy day's work, you have been working all day, and with this heat, then you come back and you find somebody with a radio under a tree and you sit there. For sure, you are going to feel relaxed. So music promotes relaxation and well-being therapy, thus reducing stress. 2, music encourages healthy habits. Music encourages healthy habits. Dancing or active engagement with music supports physical fitness. Dancing or active engagement with music supports physical fitness. If you are to leave this place to town, but you don't have fare, unfortunately, you just step on the road and find the Israeli church going to church. For sure, they'll give you a free lift. They are going to give you a free lift. So look at the Israel people. Look at those old mamas in the Israel church. The nature of music, their beat, imewafanya wamekuwa physically fit. And they can move from here to Luanda on foot. And they'll not tire. So music is giving us physical fitness. Look at the Israeli church in particular. There was one day I attended their festival in Nineveh. And then on the final day, they were to go to the hill to collect the commandments before they come back. We didn't know how far the place was, so we decided to join them. But we only went for a kilometer and we were tired. We stopped where we were, and from that place back to the church, we boarded a motorbike. But those old mamas went up to the hill, and when they came back, as they were approaching the church, you could think is when they are now starting the journey. It's when they were now more energized. So music can give us physical fitness. Music gives us stamina, encouragement, and increases endurance and delaying fatigue. Music gives us stamina, encouragement, and increases endurance and delaying fatigue. I'm looking at our cultural setup. During our cultural setup, long time ago in our traditional societies, we had working songs, where people are on the farm working and there's music, they are singing. It used to encourage them so that they don't get fatigued. It keeps them working and they don't feel fatigued. I'm looking at a football match. If there was a Sukuti here, I would give it to my senior, Mr. Miale, and maybe Dr. Shitubi. And they could actually bring that thing out. During football match, and there's music outside, and you can imagine you are on the field, you have been playing, you are tired, but when you hear them mention your name and trying to encourage you, it gives you that stamina. It adds you the courage to go on, and you feel surely somebody is actually cheering me outside with music. Let me not also disappoint them. So music also gives us encouragement and increases endurance and delaying fatigue. You don't get tired when there is music. You are working and there's music in the background, you don't actually get tired. Let us look at the cognitive growth. Cognitive growth. 1, music enhances memory and learning. It stimulates brain activity, improving concentration. Music enhances memory and learning. It stimulates brain activity and improves concentration. Those of us who have been choir trainers, especially the church choirs, if you have seen the old mamas in the church choir who never went to school, and they have been in that choir for long, hao ndio wamama ukifundisha wimbo, they'll get the song faster than the educated. They cram the song faster. And ask those mamas to sing that song even after 10 years. They'll sing exactly the way the verses follow each other. We have such a mama in our church, and she's very instrumental. And when you start a hymn and bring in another, she'll tell you, you are mixing, that is verse 4. She'll correct you. But she sang that hymn long time ago. So music enhances memory. Their memories is developed. They have to get that memory and they can recall. It also assists in the brain activities and they improve concentration. Yesterday afternoon, when I came in, people were so tired because of the heat. But when the band started playing Afro, everybody concentrated. Everybody was now alert. Look at the church. You are a preacher. You are preaching to the congregation and you are trying to look, are they getting what I'm saying? And you realize there is something wrong. Bring in a song and you'll see everybody awake. Just come with a hymn. Hata wale wenye walikuwa wamelala, they will wake. So now it promotes their concentration. Music boosts creativity, that is the ability to think outside the box. If you have to be a composer, you must be able to think outside the box. How do you assemble your information? How do you place it poetically? So you are thinking outside the box. So you are developing your critical thinking. And this one cuts across even other subjects in school when the students are learning. Music boosts our creativity. It develops patience and discipline. Music develops patience and discipline. During choir training sessions, if you are not patient, then you will leave. Because I'm looking at a trainer who is just alone, and you have to train all the 4 voices at a go. You will start with the soprano, the basses are just there seated. Come to the alto line, the basses are still seated. Come to the tenor line. If they don't have the patience and the discipline, they will not sit there and wait to be taught. So music also develops discipline and patience in our growth. Emotional. Hapa ndio kuna mambo mengi. Emotional. Music gives us room for self-expression. You express your emotions that may be difficult to put into words. At times you have situations that you cannot put into words, but through music. Looking at communities, some of our communities in Kenya, they are not at peace. And you go to such an area and there is fighting and there is war and everybody's up armed. You cannot settle them to talk. But if you inject in music, some of them will cool. You will make sure you are cooling their tones down. Their emotions calm down. So when you bring in music, the emotions also calm down. In a funeral, when people are crying and mourning, and it is very steady, and pick the singing, the mourning will calm down. People will stop crying and eventually they will join in the music. So music is there to also a way of expressing our emotions. Look at the songs we sing, the lamentation songs. Lamentation songs. And you see a person singing. Dirango muyanza kamonya undeshiso. Yo baba kamonya undeshiso. Nasubiranga kamonya watya kusuma imo baluya. Woi mama kamonya watya mwilaya. Andirenje ndauya. Andirenje ndauya. And you see somebody crying on stage, and even the audience, they are affected emotionally. And you see people shedding tears. That is music. We are expressing our feelings. We are expressing our feelings. So love songs are there, and they express feelings. When I was in secondary school, we used to sing a mixed choir with a boys' school. And then there was a song we were singing, and we didn't know there was a boy in that choir who was interested in one of our girls because of the way she was also singing. So the song had a solo part. The song had a solo part, and they were looking for a tenor solo. And this boy happened to be a tenor solo. So he insisted he wanted to sing the solo part. But he had a very good voice. But shida yake ilikuwa grandmother tongue interference. Pronunciation of words. And you know, the girls, we want somebody who can speak English nicely. So the boy insisted, I want to be. Kumbe, he had his own intentions we didn't know. He wanted to come to the front and sing, and this girl could see him and then feel appreciated. So the boy came to the front and he was singing. But there was that grandmother tongue interference, but the expression, the way the boy was expressing himself, And you could actually see that love thing in the boy. Though parted afar from my darling, I dream of her every way. The sound of her voice is about me, the spell of her presence there. We were actually captured by the last line, and as the boy finished, everybody was clapping, regardless of his grandmother tongue interference. The song entered in, the face of that gentle maiden will follow me till I die. And the boy was dying, and we could see that thing, and everybody clapped. And he won the heart of that girl. And it was now the turn of the girl to train the boy to pronounce the words properly. Because he had the grandma. So parted afar from my darling, I dream of her everywhere. And in the end, actually the two became friends. So expression, love songs are there to show feelings. And at our studies, we are there. I look at Kenya Music Festival. They are very keen on choice of songs, especially those with feelings of love. We don't give them to the primary kids because they cannot express the feelings. We shall have wasted. So we take them to institutions that understand the feelings and they can bring them out. So self-expression, bringing out our emotions where we cannot put them in words. Listening or playing music can help manage stress, anxiety, and depression. Listening or playing music can help manage stress, anxiety, and depression. Those of us who are fond of listening to Michael Jackson songs, Michael Jackson, they have the uplifting nature, messages of love, unity, and empowerment. Michael Jackson. Those of us who are fond of the Jim Reeves songs, you can see the tone of Jim Reeves. Then look at the Zablon singers and Solomon Mkubwa. Look at the feelings they have when they are singing their songs. They can move you. Huenami, 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 husiniache. That's Solomon Mkubwa. Their songs can actually uplift somebody who is actually low. Under social, music encourages teamwork. Music encourages teamwork. Whether in a choir or in a band, we must understand every voice is equally the same and we are working as one team. Every instrument must be given its role and prominence. So music encourages teamwork. It brings cultural awareness, exposure to different musical styles, and appreciate diverse cultures. That is the time you'll find the Luos singing Masai, the Luya singing Kisi. So we are trying to understand different cultures of different communities and appreciating the culture. So we bring together people also of different levels. Music brings people of different levels together. That's why in this hall we have the professors, we have the doctors, we have the students, but we are all at the same level learning, regardless of our status. Music creates inclusive environment where individuals of all abilities can participate and be accepted. Music creates inclusive environment where individuals of all abilities can participate and be accepted and be understood. I look at the Kenya Music Festival that is accommodating everybody, the VIs, the MH, the physically challenged. Everybody is on board and we appreciate them. So in music, there is no disability. In music, there is no disability. Music also builds confidence and boosts self-esteem and reduces fear of public speaking. Music builds confidence, boosts self-esteem, and reduces fear of public speaking. When you are picked on as a soloist, then you must have the confidence. You must put fear aside. I have a story of a girl who was born and the mother is mentally disturbed. And this girl, when she was born, there are two. The mother just locked them in the house, so they never interacted. And at the age of 7, the girl is still there. She has not gone to school. The other one is at the age of 3. Then somebody came and told us. So we took the initiative, went to the home. We found the situation was dire. We tried to get the kids, but the mother was brutal. Hamwezi chukua watoto wangu. She was brutal. So we went to the sub-chief to assist us. So what the sub-chief did, alienda akaomba bunduki kwa askari. Na akavaa ile nguo ya sub-chief. Sasa yeye haelewi. Na tukaenda pale na tukamwambia sisi ni askari na tunataka kuua wewe kwa sababu umekwamia watoto. So the mama started crying and saying, chukweni watoto, chukweni msiniue. So we got the kids. Na tukaleta watoto kwa shule. At the age of 7, this girl cannot talk. The speech has been interfered with. She cannot talk. Hata ukimuuliza rispa sasa, the sound is not coming out. But through interaction in school, this girl is now able to talk. And fun enough, when I was training a choir, the girl just came and stood in the choir. So everybody was, will Rispa sing? But Rispa sang up to the national. And even the mother, after we came back, said, I'm going to see that madam who went with my child to sing. Because my child cannot talk and cannot sing. And when we were at school, she came. Na watu wakaniambia sasa leo, be ready. Because she was wild. Nataka huyu madam mwenye alimbisha Rispa. So nikamwambia, mama Rispa ulikuwa unataka aje? Nisalamie. Nilikuwa tunataka kuona. Na si nyinyi ndio mlikuwa mnakuja kunitishia na bunduki. But eventually Rispa can talk. So music is also therapy. Music is also therapy. There is also a boy who could not stand for long. There is another boy who cannot stand for long. But through the exercises, this boy can now stand and do other things. So music builds confidence, boosts self-esteem, and reduces fear of public speaking. And you will agree with me, music students, when they go for interviews, they excel because they have developed that. Hawana fear, hawana uoga, they can communicate, they can do that. So in interviews, they tend to excel. Music enables us to make friends and mingle with others. From here, at least I've met people that I had never seen. And by the end of the workshop, I must have made 2 or 3 friends out of this workshop. So music unites people and brings us together. Look at a funeral situation where regardless of the denomination, we are all assembled there. And once the song starts, everybody's singing regardless of your denomination. Spiritual. Music helps one become more present and aware. Music helps one become more present and aware. I gave of a church situation where you are just preaching and people are sleeping. But if you bring in a song, then everybody is up and can talk. Music, Music is a way to communicate to God. It connects us to our Maker, our Creator, and moves us across. Look at the praise and worship team in church. The praise and worship team. When they bring the praise songs, people are up just singing. But when we come to the worship songs, then you see the emotions changing. Slowly by slowly, you now see people start waving their hands, and that's the time people start talking in tongues, and that's the time people start praying to God. They are now moving close to God. That is music. It uplifts our spirits when we are low. It uplifts spirits when we are low. And that's when I said in a funeral, when we are low, the music will uplift our spirit. Music plays the role of evangelism by attracting new members to religions. Music plays the role of evangelism. Do you know there are people who have just been attracted to a church because of the kind of music that church plays, or the style of music that they sing? It captures the person's attention and is attracted to that church. Music teaches religious principles and narratives. Music teaches religious principles and narratives. I remember those early days during Sunday school. There are songs that we were taught, and they were talking of different narratives in the Bible. And I still recall those songs. There was this song that we used to sing, Yesu yachenda humati, singa. It's bringing the narrative of Jesus walking on water. And you never forget that narrative. There's this song of Paulo na Sila waliomba. It is preaching. It's giving us a narrative. The child will never forget that narrative. The child will never forget that narrative. Look at waraka wa amani ulio wafanya Wayahudi. You get the story. Even those of us who had never read that story of Esther, we can get it through music. Because some of us, we last saw the door of our church in the early 00 centuries. So, but we can get the narratives of the Bible through the music. Joseph and the brothers, there are songs on those narratives. So music plays a role of teaching religious principles and narratives. So as a whole, music prepares us in different ways. Physically, socially, emotionally, culturally, and so on. With the new education system of the CBC, where at class 9 we are now headed to career pathway. And we intend to see our students pick performing arts. In the CBC now it is referred to as the performing arts. Career pathway. Before, kitambo, people never used to value music. In fact, ungeambia mzazi mtoto afanye music, anakuambia mtoto wangu aende tu kuimba. During our days when I was in secondary school, I think my school was the only school that was doing music in the whole of Western. And that was Kaimosi Girls. It was the only school that used to do music in the whole of Western. Then we could get the others in Nairobi. And we could go in for a music class, and people used to ask us, kazi yenu hapa ni kuimba tu. Kazi yenu ni kuimba tu hapa. They never used to understand why we go in for music. But right now, nakutana na wengine, wananiambia, tungewafuata kwa hiyo class, hata sisi tungekuwa tumesonga. So at first, people did not value music so much, because they thought it is just a waste of time, just singing and singing. But now, with the present generation that we have, and with the present situation in the world, music has become a hot cake. Music has become a hot cake. And therefore, with the career pathway, how do we make our students also understand that performing arts is equally important as somebody who is going in for engineering? Somebody in the performing arts section is equally important and even better placed than somebody who is going in for engineering. That's when we come to the role of music economically, in the economical growth. How does music assist us? So music is not just an art form, it's also an economic asset that can contribute to an individual financial growth and stability. Music, it's not just art. It's not just a matter of singing and dancing. It can also contribute to our financial growth and stability. There are so many career opportunities and income-generating activities in music. Career opportunities. And I'll not be wrong if I say most of our students who take music at the university, they get employment faster than even the others. Because right now, music teachers are scarce. ni wachache. So I have a son who was employed even without a TSC number. Na akachukulia in one of the senior schools, Butula Boys. Na hata hakuwa na TSC number, but because they were in dire need of a music teacher, mwenye alikuwa ameenda, and they were just heading to the exam period, and the Form 4s were there. So the boy was even employed without a TSC number. TSC lipata kama tayari anafanya. So career opportunities and income generation. Musicians, composers, and producers earn through performances and recordings. You perform on stage, the band is here, is performing, they can earn. They earn a living from there. And you can see they are still students, but they are earning. They are still students, and they are earning already. So through recordings, through performances, we can earn. Music education and tutoring. There are people who have just organized schools, and they are doing tutoring of people who are interested in music, not necessarily in school. Even in your home, you just get people who are interested. There are people who can just come and say, I'm interested, nataka kujua how to sight read. And you start that course with them, and they pay you money. Online learning is there. So they provide lessons, and you do it online platforms, and you get steady, and you get income. Theory, even in instrumental, theory is there. There are people who are interested. I have an instrument, I have a saxophone, I have a violin. Somebody is interested. Namkaribisha, nafundisha, and he pays me. I'm earning a living. Playing instruments or providing vocals for recordings, events, and live performances can bring income. And this is exactly what the band is doing. They are playing vocals, they are playing the instruments, and it will earn them a living and income. They'll be invited in events, they'll be invited in ceremonies, they'll be invited in festivals, and they play and they earn a living. There is a school in Busia which is doing so well. And that is a primary school, the Resonate Primary. They have a school band. That school is actually making money out of those small kids. Because the whole of Busia, all the graduation ceremonies in Busia, it is a Resonate that provides the band. And nowadays, they have even gone an extra mile. They are even being invited wakati watu wanaenda kutoa mwili mochari, and they play. And they are making a lot of money out of that. And look at the teacher behind that team. Go to his home and see the kind of life that man is living. He's living a very comfortable life just out of that band, and he's making a living. So music production and sound engineering. Careers in studio recording, mixing, and sound designs offer financial stabilities. Go to studios. We need people who will work there on these different machines, and it also gives opportunity for economic development. Entrepreneurship and business ventures. When you do music streaming and digital sales, streaming platforms, e.g. Sportive, they'll give you an earning. So you do that and you make a living. Merchandising and branding. Musicians create and sell branded merchandise, e.g. clothing, accessories, digital products. Nimeona during festivals, watu wanakuja na t-shirts, and they are branded. And they sell. And everybody's, I must leave this workshop. Hata hapa zingekuwa, kila mtu angenunua. Kila mtu anasema, I must leave. Everybody must know nili attend Kupa workshop. So I've seen musicians come up with that, and they make them nicely. They place the clefs there. They write my heart beats music. And somebody wants to wear that t-shirt and walk and say my heart beats music. So it is also a source of income. Organizing and managing music events, festivals, and so on. When you are organizing, you are making a living. You are earning. So it is an economical growth. Look at the trend now, YouTube, TikTok. People are making a lot of money out of that. People are actually earning through TikTok and YouTube. Music is also creating jobs for people. We need managers, we need marketers, we need the sound engineers, we need the venue staff. So music is there, creating job opportunities for people. Capacity building. Capacity building. During the reign of Moi, so many teachers were promoted just because of music. Ungeimba tu Moi ni simba ya Kenya, halo halo halo, tingisha kidole, huyo mwalimu apate promotion. And you are promoted. Just that one line. Moi ni simba wa Kenya, and the Moi with his fimbo, na anaita fulani, huyu mwalimu apate promotion. And most of our teachers grew through music. Music. Capacity building. Promotions. Last year, so many of our teachers were promoted, those who managed to train choirs and reach the state concert. They were promoted. They got promotions. So don't ignore music. It can earn you a living. Music gives us recognition and earning us a name. We have seen people receive presidential and global awards. Presidential. Just see how happy you will be. That pride you get just to receive that presidential or global award through music. So it gives you recognition, it earns you a good name. Music gives us confidence and self-esteem, helps. That confidence, as I said earlier, when we go for interviews, you are able to communicate, you have the confidence, and you earn a job because of that confidence. Under that place, I also had a girl who, I don't know whether she was an intro, how do I put it, I don't know, because that girl could not associate with the others. And the break time, unampata tu under Trina amesimama na amefanya hivi mkono. Wengine wanacheza tu, but Sarah could not play with the others. And in class, she's a very bright girl. She becomes position 1. But just mention her name when you ask her question. Sarah, anashtuka, alafu anarudi chini. So I never understood her. But ukiuliza mama yake anakuambia nyumbani huyu mtoto anacheza. The mother was also a teacher. But at school, so when I started the Scottish dance, I called Sarah, utakuwa kwa team. Then the whole school laughed. So Sarah cannot. Ambia Sarah unaenda kucheza. And she came. So the whole school was around to see how Sarah will dance. And Sarah danced. And went home and even told the grandmother, Madam ameniweka kwa timu ya kucheza. And the grandmother came and asked me, are you very sure Sarah is dancing? I told her, yes. Then she told me, the day you will go for the festival, please let me know. I want to go and see. And she came there and witnessed Sarah dance. And from there, Sarah changed completely. And right now, Sarah ni mtangazaji kwa studio. Right now, Sarah ni mtangazaji kwa studio. It made her pick the confidence. That music made her pick the confidence. KMF and even the Kupa now, we have our, let me run away from the word, we have run away from the word sponsor because of the way it has been used in other areas. We have our partners, we don't want to call them sponsors. We have our partners who have come in to partner with us. And they bring a class and they add there the cash award. Last year, by show of hands, oh, universities, you were not there. But we may have teachers here who trained secondary. Sindio? How many of us, I included, managed to eat the equity money? Now, watu wanakula pesa ya Kenya hii. Equity had the cash award. So we struggled. Everybody was after that class. Everybody. And it was war kupenya at the regional. Because the adjudicators also had interest. And they had already been promised, if you give me, I'll give you 20. So it was war. Unless you just stand out, because when you stand out and they give you number 3, everybody will make the noise. So music is giving us income. You sing, you get the cash awards. You sing, you get the cash awards, and it is income generating activities. We earn money even in school. When I was a student, And may God rest the soul of this man. David Zalo Okuku was my mentor. David Zalo Okuku, may God rest his soul in eternal peace. David, we were music students, and David could receive around 4 or 5 letters to go and adjudicate at the zonal. Those days, music used to start at the zonals. So what David used to do, and our principal was also good, anasema, wewe, anachukua music students, wewe utaenda kwa hii zone, wewe utaenda kwa hii zone, wewe utaenda kwa hii zone. And he gives us the tips on what we are supposed to talk about. So you have the Mwakenya on a paper. Wakati utasimama utasema hii. But you stand with confidence. Yeah. So the principal naye anasema mutakuja. I'll give you hot comb. Those days getting somebody with a hot comb to make our hair and the rollers. You must look like people who are actually